Hey everyone, Cap from TCG Break here, bringing you my Master Duel Pendulum Magician deck profile for February 2022. This is a rather powerful option in the Master Duel format, as you have access to cards such as Astrograph Sorcerer, as well as Heavy Metal Foe's Electromite, which can net you quite a lot of advantage overall. This video will showcase the deck using real cards, rather than viewing the list through the Master Duel program, though I will also have a number of replays following the deck profile and a deck list towards the end of the video. So with that being said, without further ado, let's get into it. Starting with the main monster lineup, I'm playing one copy of Astrograph Sorcerer, one Stargazer Magician, one copy of Chronograph Sorcerer, and the one Time Gazer Magician. Astrograph Sorcerer has the effect, if it is in your Pendulum Zone, where you can destroy it to take a Stargazer Magician either from your hand or deck, placing it into the Pendulum Zone, or special summoning it to your field. Chronograph Sorcerer works in the same way, though instead it will either place into your Pendulum Zone or special summon the Time Gazer Magician. If Astrograph Sorcerer is in your hand, and a card you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you are able to special summon the Astrograph Sorcerer from your hand, and then choose one monster that is in your grave, extra deck, or that is banished and was destroyed that turn, and add a monster from your deck to your hand with the same name as that destroyed monster. Chronograph Sorcerer has a very similar effect, where if a card you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon Chronograph Sorcerer from your hand, and then you are able to special summon another monster from your hand. Both of these cards' monster effects, when used in combination with a card such as Electromite, allow you to gain quite a lot of advantage, being able to put one or two additional monsters onto the field, or add a card that was destroyed from your deck to the hand to give you a follow-up for the next turn. Starting with the main Pendulum Magicians, I'm playing 3 copies of Oath Dragon Magician. This has the very useful Pendulum effect, where if you have a Magician card in your other Pendulum Zone, you can add a face-up Magician or Odd Eyes Pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand. Most of the time, this will give you a follow-up by adding a card such as Harmonizing Magician back to your hand. That way, on your Pendulum summon on your next turn, you would be able to use Harmonizing Magician's effect to get an additional monster onto your field to use as Synchro or Xyz material, or possibly go for game by link climbing into a card such as Halqifibrax, Selene, then Access Code Talker. Oath Dragon also has the useful monster effect, if it is normal or special summoned, where you can target a Magician Pendulum monster or an Odd Eyes monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. This is useful to regain resources from your grave, should you happen to use some of your Pendulum Magicians for Xyz summons, such as that of Tornado Dragon. Additionally, I'm playing 3 copies of Wisdom Eye Magician. This card's Pendulum effect ensures that you are able to complete your scales, as if you have a Magician or Performapal card in your other Pendulum Zone, you can destroy Wisdom Eye and then place one Magician Pendulum monster from your deck into your Pendulum Zone. So if you already have a high scale, you could destroy Wisdom Eye and go into a card such as Oath Dragon, or vice versa, if you already have a low scale, such as the aforementioned Oath Dragon Magician, you could instead go into a card such as Double Iris Magician in order to complete your Pendulum summon and possibly benefit off of those cards' effects thereafter. As for the tuner targets, I'm playing 2 copies of Harmonizing Magician and 2 copies of Tuning Magician. Harmonizing has the scale effect, where all monsters you control gain 100 attack and defense for each face-up Magician Pendulum monster with different names in your extra deck, though most of the time you are looking to Pendulum summon Harmonizing Magician, as it has the effect, when it is Pendulum summoned from the hand, where you can special summon a Magician Pendulum monster from your deck in defense position, though its effects are negated and it's banished when it leaves the field. This effect may give you the additional extender you need to set up your board of multiple negates, or possibly go for game on later turns. It is important to keep in mind that Harmonizing Magician cannot be special summoned from the extra deck, so you are looking to have Oath Dragon in your scale as soon as possible in order to use its effect to add Harmonizing Magician back to your hand for a follow-up. Tuning Magician is your target to special summon via the effect of Crystron Hockey Fibrax, though it has the useful effect where if you have 2 Magician cards in your Pendulum zones, while Tuning Magician is in your hand or graveyard, you can special summon it, but it is banished when it leaves the field. Tuning Magician has the prospective downside when it is normal or special summoned, where your opponent gains 400 life points and you take 400 damage. Since the Master Duel format does not play on a match format consisting of 3 separate duels, you do not have to be worried about this effect possibly hindering your duel in a time limit. As for the one-of Magician Pendulum monsters, I'm playing 1 copy of Black Fang Magician, 1 Double Iris Magician, 1 Purple Poison Magician, 1 Dragon Pit Magician, and 1 Performapal Celestial Magician. Black Fang is a useful utility card in this deck, as if it is in your Pendulum zone, you can target a face-up monster your opponent controls and half its attack until the end of the turn. Then Black Fang Magician is destroyed. Of course, when Black Fang Magician is destroyed, you are able to special summon 1 Dark Spellcaster monster from your graveyard. Double Iris Magician is a very powerful card, as when it is in your Pendulum scale, you can target a Dark Spellcaster you control and apply the effect that any battle damage that monster inflicts to your opponent when it battles an opponent's monster is doubled. Double Iris is destroyed after using this effect, and when Double Iris is destroyed, you are able to add a Pendulum Graph card, being that of either Star Pendulum Graph or Time Pendulum Graph, from your deck to the hand. Purple Poison Magician proved especially useful in all of the recorded duels, as it has the useful effect when it is destroyed, where you can target a face-up card on the field and destroy it. Of course, it also has the Pendulum effect, where before damage calculation, if one of your Dark Spellcaster monsters battle, you can make that monster gain 1200 attack and destroy Purple Poison. Dragon Pit Magician's Pendulum effect is essentially your in-archetype MST, as if you have another Magician card in the other Pendulum zone, you can discard a Pendulum monster and destroy 1 Speller Trap on the field. Lastly, the Performapal Celestial Magician has a variety of useful effects, though the one you will utilize most often is if it was normal or special summoned, where since you control a Pendulum monster, you are able to add a Pendulum monster from your deck to the hand during the end phase of that turn. Rounding it out for the Pendulum monsters, I'm playing 3 copies of Performapal Pendulum Sorcerer, 3 Performapal Skull Crobat Joker, and 3 Abyss Actor Curtain Raiser. Curtain Raiser has the useful once per duel effect, where if you control no monsters, you can special summon it from your Pendulum zone. Of course, Skull Crobat Joker has the effect when it is normal summoned to add a Performapal or Magician Pendulum monster from your deck to the hand, and the Performapal Pendulum Sorcerer is an excellent utility card used in combination with your Magician Pendulum monsters, as if it is special summoned, you are able to target up to 2 cards you control and destroy them. If you do, you are able to add Performapal monsters with different names from your deck to the hand, equal to the number of cards destroyed. In most cases, you are looking to destroy a card such as Double Iris Magician to be able to add the Star or Time Pendulum Graph from your deck to the hand thereafter, as well as benefit of a Pendulum Sorcerer's effect to add a card such as Skull Crobat Joker to your hand to possibly normal summon and use its effect as well. I'm also playing 1 copy of Artifact Scythe, which is able to be set fairly easily via the effect of Artifact Dagda. Moving on to the spell card lineup, I'm playing 3 copies of Duelist Alliance. This simply allows you to add 1 Pendulum monster, spell, or trap from your deck to the hand that has Pendulum within its name. This is very useful to search out a card such as Pendulum Call if you do not start with a great hand, to at least be able to set up your Pendulum scales, or you can simply add a card such as the Performapal Pendulum Sorcerer or Double Iris Magician, since that card is always treated as a Pendulum Dragon card. Of course, I am playing 3 copies of Pendulum Call. You are able to discard 1 card to add 2 Magician Pendulum monsters with different names from your deck to the hand, and until the end of your opponent's next turn, Magician cards in your Pendulum zones cannot be destroyed by card effects. This card slightly conflicts with the overall strategy, as it has the prospective downside, where you are not able to activate Pendulum Call if you activated a Magician monster's Pendulum card that turn. Though with that in mind, I find the benefits of being able to search out any 2 Magician Pendulum monsters from your deck to far outweigh the inability to destroy your Magician cards in the Pendulum zones to later benefit off of their effects. And rounding it out for the main deck, I'm playing 3 copies of Pot of Desires, 1 Star Pendulum Graph, and 1 Time Pendulum Graph. I have switched back and forth between Pot of Desires and Max C since that card is legal within the Master Duel format, though I often found that it would have been more beneficial to draw into Pot of Desires over cards like Max C to have the chance to dig 2 cards deeper into your deck rather than a dead card in your hand, especially against control matchups such as Eldlich and True Draco. Star Pendulum Graph protects your spellcaster type monsters from your opponent's targeting spell card effects, and it has the useful effect if a face-up Magician Pendulum monster leaves the monster zone or pendulum zone, you are able to add 1 Magician Pendulum monster from your deck to your hand. Similarly, Time Pendulum Graph protects your spellcaster type monsters from your opponent's targeting trap card effects, and it has the effect where you can target a Magician Pendulum monster card you control in your monster zone or pendulum zone, and 1 card your opponent controls, and destroy them. This can prove especially useful if you are able to protect the card on your field from destruction, if you previously used a card such as Pendulum Call, as if Time Pendulum Graph's effect did not destroy 2 cards, you are able to send 1 card on the field to the graveyard. Moving on to the extra deck, I'm playing the 1 copy of Artemis the Magistus Moon Maiden, 1 Artifact Dagda, and 1 copy of Crystron Halki Fibrax. Artemis simply serves as a way to link off your Tuning Magician in order to possibly special summon Tuning Magician back via its own effect and link climb into a card such as Nightmare Unicorn, Apollosa, or Access Code Talker. Artifact Dagda allows you to set up your Artifact Scythe lock simply when an effect of another card on the field is activated, and Crystron Halki Fibrax allows you to special summon your Tuning Magician from your deck, whilst also serving as a primary way to destroy the aforementioned Artifact Scythe that you set off of Artifact Dagda by special summoning the TG Wonder Magician in order to lock your opponent out from being able to special summon monsters from the extra deck. Additional link monsters, I'm playing the 1 copy of Heavy Metal Foes Electromite, 1 Nightmare Phoenix, and 1 Selene, Queen of the Master Magicians. Electromite allows you to add 1 Pendulum monster from your deck to the extra deck face up if it is link summoned, and you are able to very easily get that card back into your hand simply by using its effect to target 1 other face up card you control, destroy that targeted card, and then add a face up Pendulum monster from your extra deck to the hand. Of course, if a card in your Pendulum zone leaves the field, while Electromite is on the field, you are able to draw 1 card. Nightmare Phoenix serves as an excellent utility card in order to disrupt your opponent's back row, and Selene allows you to easily link climb into a card such as Apollosa if going first, or the Access Code Talker when you are trying to go for game, as it has the effect, if it is link summoned, where it gains spell counters equal to the number of spell cards on the field and in the graveyards, and you are able to remove 3 counters from Selene in order to special summon a spellcaster monster from your hand or graveyard to a zone Selene points to. Rounding it out for the link monsters, I'm playing the 1 copy of Nightmare Unicorn, 1 Apollosa, Bow of the Goddess, and 1 Access Code Talker. Unicorn allows you to shuffle 1 card on the field into the deck if it is link summoned, simply by discarding 1 card. Apollosa is excellent going first, allowing you to set up multiple monster negates to interrupt your opponent's plays, or possibly protect your own, and Access Code Talker is the perfect card when you are trying to go for a game, as you are often able to boost it up to 5300 attack using a Link 3 monster such as Unicorn or Selene as material, and then destroy a number of cards on your opponent's field, clearing their board, and possibly opening them up for a final attack. As for the Xyz monsters, I'm playing the 1 copy of Time Star Magician, 1 Tornado Dragon, and the 1 Divine Arsenal AA Zeus. Time Star allows you to add 1 Dark Spellcaster monster from either your deck, grave, or face-up extra deck to your hand, and it has the useful effect, if a Pendulum monster card in your monster zone or pendulum zone would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you are able to send a Spellcaster monster from your deck to the grave instead. This often allows you to send a card such as Tuning Magician to the grave in order to benefit off of its effect to special summon itself thereafter. Tornado Dragon helps against the back row heavy matchups, or serves as another way to destroy your set artifact Scythe, and the Divine Arsenal AA Zeus is a great addition to the extra deck, allowing you to possibly quick effect wipe the board to turn the tides of the duel in your favor and possibly go for game on the following turn. And rounding it out for the extra deck, I'm playing the 1 TG Wonder Magician, 1 Borreload Savage Dragon, and the 1 copy of Supreme King Dragon, Starving Venom. You will special summon the TG Wonder Magician via the effect of your Crystron Halki Fibrax during your opponent's main or battle phase in order to destroy your set artifact Scythe. Borreload Savage serves as an excellent Omni Negate to interrupt your opponent's plays, and Supreme King Dragon Starving Venom is able to be brought out fairly easily, as you are able to tribute 2 Dark Pendulum monsters in order to special summon it, and it has the rather powerful effect where once per turn you can target a monster on the field or in the graveyard, and until the end phase of that turn, Starving Venom's name becomes that monster's name, and its effects are replaced with that monster's original effects. This allows you to reuse a card effect such as Electromite in the later turns, should that card already be in your graveyard, so that you can gain even more advantage building towards your Pendulum summon to possibly put enough damage on the board to go for game. So with this list in mind, let's get into the duel replays for this video to see how well the deck performs against the competition within Master Duel. So this has been my Master Duel Pendulum Magician deck profile for the February 2022 format. A deck list for this is shown on screen now for your reference if you would like to build this deck yourself within Master Duel. If you enjoyed this style of video, placing both a deck profile and duel replays into one, let us know in the comments below. If you'd like to support the channel, feel free to use our TCG Player affiliate link, which may be found in the description below the video. I hope you enjoyed, and as always, until the next one, have a nice day.